And good morning, everyone. It is the first Saturday of college football, and I am on my way to my mom's house. We are about 30 minutes away, and stopped off at Buc-ee's, and it is packed in there. But I saw a lot of football fans. Of course, they were wearing like either their favorite team shirt or their favorite team jersey. A lot of people here at Daytona. It is a holiday weekend, Labor Day weekend, so I knew it was going to be crowded, but was able to go in and get my hydration, Body Armor hydration drink for this afternoon while we're at the beach, and also the infamous cookie dough bites, Buc-ee's cookie dough bites, and also they had Disney Roosevelt's shirts inside as you walk in to the store. And like I said before, Buc-ee's is not just a normal gas station. They're based out of Texas, and they're just a restaurant. It's like a convenience store chain. Not only gas station, but it's just like a whole shopping center where kind of like a not a flea market really. It's a convenience store slash little mall person, I guess. But yeah, just so much fun. I love coming anytime I come up to my mom's house for a long weekend or for a weekend. I want to stop here at Buc-ee's. I always do. And so, just to either get the cookie dough bites or just to stop in and walk around, because I've been sitting for 2 hours. So, anyway, yes, it is the first weekend, Labor Day weekend, the first weekend. College football starts today. Opening weekend, it kicks off here in just about almost an hour, and man, we got some good matchups coming up already with Georgia and Clemson to kick off the college football day, and then at 3:30, of course, Ohio State and Akron will play at 3:30, and then the night game will be Texas A&M against Notre Dame. So a lot of top 10 matchups today going around. We've already seen a top 10 upset last weekend when Georgia Tech won over Florida State, who was ranked 10th in the country, knocked out on a game-winning field goal in Dublin, Ireland. That was last weekend. And then, so yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see a couple more upsets today. Love watching college football, way better than NFL, just because college football has a different atmosphere and more traditions at each university at the collegiate level. Some of the traditions are more outstanding than the NFL. NFL, I don't think, has much any traditions as college football does. And that's why America loves it so much and loves watching games, and not even if you can't go to the games, watching them on TV. Sometimes they show the traditions of that university before kickoff of the game. And so it's it's just a great atmosphere, even just seeing the game on TV, not just being at the game, even though being at the game is way better than watching on TV. But you don't have to wait an hour to go to the bathroom if you're sitting at home. So yeah, let's go ahead and get off here. I'm going to head over to my mom's house because we are actually heading to the beach, and I'm going to be able to meet up with my stepdad's side of the family. They're in town from Kentucky and Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. So let's go ahead and get back on that long, lonesome road. Alright, so I have arrived and I've changed clothes and ready to head to the beach. Waiting on my mom to come back to pick me up. She is on her way. So, but, oh, my word. There we go. Oh. There we go. Oh, there we go. So yeah. But I am ready to start my weekend now. Vacation mode. Not thinking about work. Not thinking about anything but Ohio State football, college football in general. So, and enjoy a relaxing time at the beach. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna head out here shortly, and we'll be on our way to the beach. I'm gonna try to see if I can go to the baseball game tomorrow night. I don't know. Depends on what my mom and the family is doing. If I can go, and they can. If they're not doing anything on Sunday night, tomorrow night, then I'll probably go to the game. But if we have plans, like if we're going out to dinner, or if we're doing something, then I'll stick around and forget about the game and wait till next summer. But nevertheless, going to try and have a fun and relaxing SpenVenture this weekend, Labor Day weekend. First Saturday of college football to begin our the fall season. So anyway, hopefully we will be relaxing by the pool and relaxing at the beach. Like I said, it's just going to be a relaxing weekend and a fun time with family. So, looking forward to it. I'm continuing this SpenVenture in Palm Coast, Florida. All right, and good afternoon, everybody. We are on the next day, Sunday, September 1st, 2024, and we are at Fort Matanzas, here in just outside of St. Augustine, Florida. And I've been wanting to come to this fort for a while. It is a National Historic landmark here in Florida, and it is also a state park with all the accommodations and things to do here, just like picnic tables, restrooms. They've got playground area, nature trails. But we are here for Fort Matanzas, the ferry boat that will take us to the fort here in about a half an hour. And it is 2 o'clock, so we are going to go ahead into the visitor center, and it's going to talk about the history of the fort and what it was used for. But first, let's go ahead and look into take a short boat trip to Fort Matanzas and visit the outpost guarding the back door. Approach to St. Augustine. Hike the trails through a coastal forest and dunes. See a unique mix of plants and animals in the ecological transition zone. Watch the timeless interplay of waves and sand along the Atlantic coastline. Weather permitting, a ferry boat runs from Park Visitor Center dock to Fort Matanzas. That's the fort right there. That's what we're going to go see here in just a little bit. Also, it talks about some of the landscape, the marshes, and the nature trails from the hot Florida sun. Anywho's, let's go do this. Got my boarding pass to Fort Matanzas National Monument. We are departing at 2:30. 2:25 is when we board, and 2:30 is when we depart. Must be present while boarding begins. So we'll be able to look, and when we get over there, we'll be able to discover the fort and learn about the fort and what it was used for. This looks like it was during the Spanish, when the Spanish took over. The lady I was talking to said that August 28th was when the Spanish landed here in Florida, just outside of St. Augustine. And the when Fort Matanzas was established was on September the 8th. So we're kind of in between two anniversaries right now, because it's September 1st, exactly 1 week from today, be September 8th, and that is the anniversary of when Fort Matanzas was established. So, very cool. Kind of interesting. I'm surprised they don't have like a little festival or something that commemorates the fort. All right, we are boarding the boat now. Let's see, we're on the water. We're ready to board and travel over just a short distance to Fort. Let's roll out. All right, on our way to Fort Matanzas.
I told you to expect like the owl.
And we're rolling right over here. We are on our way to Fort Matanzas. It's a nice day out. Travel by boat. Some people swimming out here in the bay and beach. The fort right over there. Very small fort, but there should be a lot of good history to explore and see.
Think y'all could stay out here for a month?
No.
Well, if you were a Spanish soldier living in St. Augustine in the mid-1700s, that would be your typical duty down here. It's 30 days.
Wow.
You would have a home in downtown St. Augustine with your family. You would do regular shifts at the Castillo, the big fort, kind of like a firefighter works today. But then every so often you would have your month down here at Fort Matanzas. This is a very simple little fortified watchtower. There's only 2 rooms up there. The first floor, that bottom window, is the guard room where the enlisted men stayed.
Ooh.
Typically you would have 6 soldiers sharing that room. That's your bedroom, your living room, your kitchen, your dining room, all rolled into one. When we get up there, you might think it looks a little small for 6, but depending on the size of your house and the size of your family, it might have been a nice break. Second floor, the top window, is the officers' quarters. One officer would be stationed here with the 6 enlisted men. He is also here for 30 days, but of course he gets his own room. Also on that floor is the ladder that goes up to the roof, where the flagpole is flying the Cross of Burgundy, which is an old Spanish military flag. That is the observation deck up there. Somebody is going to be stationed up there on guard duty at all times, because guard duty is the whole reason this place is here. The Matanzas Inlet, which goes out under the bridge down here, goes out to the Atlantic Ocean, and the Matanzas River goes all the way back to St. Augustine. This is the back door to the city. This is the way that an enemy could potentially sneak up on St. Augustine if they want to attack it, or if they're already attacking the city, they can block this inlet and prevent the Spanish from getting help, which is exactly what British troops tried to do in the summer of 1740. They come down from Georgia under the command of James Oglethorpe, the founder of the Georgia colony, and lay siege to St. Augustine. They bombard the big fort for about a month. They blockade the inlet downtown, but they failed to blockade this one. So the Spanish are still able to sneak out, send for help, and bring supplies back up the river. That lifts the siege. Eventually the British have to pack up and go home, and the Spanish realized how important it was going to be for them to defend this inlet with something more substantial than the little wooden tower that was down here before. So just a few months after that attack is over, in the fall of 1740, they start construction on this tower. It takes about 2 years to finish, and it's made out of coquina. Very unique local stone. When we get up there, take a close look at it, and you'll see it is seashells that have been compressed together underground for thousands of years. And because it forms that way, it has millions of teeny tiny air pockets. It's very porous. Unfortunately, that makes it vulnerable to water damage, plant damage, and people damage. Originally, the whole fort was covered in a plaster coating to waterproof it. But then on the flip side, when you fire cannonballs into a really thick wall of coquina, instead of shattering under the impact, those air pockets allow the stone to compress. It's like shooting BBs into a block of styrofoam.
Oh, wow.
The big fort downtown is made out of the same stone. And it's one of the reasons that fort has been able to survive 3 major sieges and several smaller attacks, and it has never lost.
All right, heading up to the fort. Got a little bit of a backstory, historical backstory about the fort, and very interesting. I do say so myself. So we make our way to Fort Matanzas. Matanzas, that's how you say it. So Fort Matanzas, and I guess I could say the park ranger was talking to us about the fort itself. This part right here, we're gonna go.
Like, okay, it's the right one.
Oh well, the one in St. Augustine, the main part of the city, this center, it's like 3 times the height of this one.
I know that now.
So here we are. Well, the first floor, so you can see the cannons. Use here, of course, the weapons that they use to fire the cannons. Like a shovel up here. Shovel here. Put in the gunpowder. Gunpowder goes into the socket. The socket here, you got these keys here. And from here, there, unscrew this. Right here, you unscrew this. Puts into the barrel. This is to clean it. It's like just like a big cleaning brush. This cleaning brush will clean the inside the barrel of the cannon. The barrel of the cannon be in here, and then clean the inside and get ready for the next firing. Of course, like I was saying, there's a the lady at the station.
Oh, cannonball!
The lady at the station was talking to me about the I forget now, but it was never active. Park ranger, she was saying it's never active. No one got past this fort, even though out everywhere you can see the rain off in the distance. And you can see the Matanzas Bay walls here, of course the cannons here, and they do have lady at the fort, and they do reenactments here. Like I was saying, we're in between 2 anniversaries here. Between August 28th, when the Spanish came into Florida, and also when the like a little hole. It's like a little hideout. Some people come and hide out in the fort. Arrow. Just little windows out of each side where you head east or north, west. Inside that's a little cubby area, and this is kind of a hideout where the guards would keep watch in case something were to penetrate the fort, which is unpenetratable, would come into the fort and just stay on guard, pretty much. Let's go up a little bit taller, get a better look.
Yeah.
This is basically like an inventory
Yeah.
of what all goes in here.
Yeah.
2 pound, a ladle, rammers, 2 8-pound sponges, 8-pound worm, 2 roof-shaped wooden mutant pass boxes, 50 flannel case charges, 1 800 watt stack sabers, 2 sheets of tarred canvas, 10 match cords, 1 oil lamp, 1 machete, 2 water barrels, 1 unserviceable short ladder, 1 long ladder, 1 table, 1 bench, metal candle holder, 2 old hoes without handle, 1 axe for chopping firewood, 1 flag with coat of arms, 1 hail for the flag, wooden platform for the troops. Wow. I can probably fit. Cannon shots fired in beach patrols. Oh, wow. 4 sailors on July 9th of 1793 briefly stay at Fort Matanzas due to water damage on their boat.
Oh yeah, I'm getting a good breeze right now. That's good.
July 8th of 1795, a ship at inlet claims to have lost its way in a storm between Havana and Campeche. 43 days at sea. Wow. Rations were issued for 7 crewmen and 1 passenger. Soldier Jose Juandia inspected the vessel, later brought it to St. Augustine. Ship commander claims to know the governor. Okay. It's way back down into May 29th of 1797. Slope supplies have been salvaged. Captain and crew have been transported to St. Augustine. This is all like the patrol. That's very cool. With artillery logs, there was a log that was on September 10th of 1742. 2 boats surrounding the inlet got within range of the fort. Cannon was shot, convinced with one to withdraw immediately. The other withdrew soon after. And on April 22nd, 1759, 4 6-pounders and 1 18-pounder arranged to point to the mouth of Matanzas Inlet, more than a musket shot away. That's close. Then on September 1st of 1793, gun deck ready for the delivery of 2 8-pounder iron cannons. Then on January 18th, 1797, details on proper way to clean cannons, not by firing powder charged through them. Powder expanded single shot on May 8th of 1799. 1811 or early 1812, Fort Matanzas fires warning shot at U.S. warship. Oh. Don't mess with me. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go up into the watchtower after these 2 gentlemen, and then we'll read about some of the artillery that they used here at the fort. There we go. I made enough to break hole.
You might want to go. Yeah, that was
That is a safe hole. So, we're up at the top of the roof. This is the roof. We were on the second floor. You have to go up a very skinny hole. But I really do like it up here. With the Spanish flag in the distance, waving proudly up here. Since this fort was established by the Spanish. This is the ladder we came up, but once we come up, must come down. Carefully.
Coming up. Start getting stuck when your butt's like.
You're not supposed to leave
I'm not trying. Like this.
there
That's what I did. I had to go like that.
The little watchtower here. Got the 4 blanks. So you got the 4 corners. You have a little gun station here on each of the 4 corners of this pillar house here.
There they go. Little Somali pirates.
There they go. There's our boat.
Race! Gun it, please. I think the people on the right. Dude, unleash. Like, why do you have that if you're not just gonna... Like,
And we're along the shore.
there he goes. Yes!
At a boat race.
Oh, he's home. He's gone. I think this guy's waiting right here. Just wait till that little... He gets to the...
Made it back down the hatch. Let's go back down toward the cannons. Got everybody up here on the bow. Very tight squeeze up there. It's a 90-degree angle straight up. So here is some of the ammo and some of the
Yeah, no, give it to me.
Some of
I
the
can come back up to get it.
food and supplies they needed up here to stay at the fort
Actually, the back of the chimney actually.
for
helps.
30 days, for 1 month. They rotate officers
Take anything?
Come on, Christian.
and soldiers.
Oh, great.
Let me get a picture.
The hole in the wall leads to the powder magazine. It's an early French word, magazine, which means storage place. Gunpowder was stored in barrels, narrow circular chamber, by thick walls and safe from fire and accidental sparks. This hole was the only entrance. Soldier would climb down the ladder into a dark chamber and bring up barrels of powder when needed. The coquina wall originally extended all the way to the ceiling. Right here, you see.
You did it.
And food and other supplies could be securely stored in the area behind the wall, with the officer holding the only key to the powder magazine.
You're not gonna fall. The wall's gonna catch you.
I know, I'm just getting my hands in order.
Time of cardboard boxes, plastic 2-liter bottles, and aluminum cans. Oliver jar was the most common storage container throughout the Spanish colonies. Made of unglazed pottery or glazed on one side only, the Oliver jar was inexpensive to produce. Used to store everything from its olives and olive oil to wine, dried beans, and grain.
Oh, here's another bed.
Yeah, that's the officer.
This is the officers.
This is floor 2. Where's mom?
Oh.
The officers stayed in Florida. Yeah,
They're coming.
this is the officer's office, pretty much, because you have all the that manuals, reports of different events that took place here. Inventory. Then finally, on April 10th, 1812, cannons fired 2 times due to 30 to 40 enemy soldiers present at Barachica dune sandbar south of the fort. Here's the water cistern. This is where they would draw water. With the, of course, like a well. The well. Water cistern. Not been in here yet.
So I have another question. Where do they specifically get all the stuff from? Like, where do they mine it from the ground?
The stones?
Yeah, the stones.
There was a small quarry about a mile south of here where they got the stone for this fort.
Okay, that makes sense. Close to the building spot.
Well, look, Christian slept in a tent.
And was it the same one they built for the much bigger fort in St. Augustine?
Same stone, different quarry. So there was a big quarry for the Castillo close to the modern day lighthouse.
Okay.
That was much closer to the site.
Yeah, that makes more sense to be closer to the big one. The small one for a small fort. Okay.
Wow. Well, that's the cistern. Wow. Oh, look at that. Well, that's
Easy.
neat.
So when did you guys rebuild the place? Like after it was.
There were major projects done in the 19-teens, 20s, and 30s.
Wow. They did a good job because like the before pictures make it look like it's a
Pretty
forest.
rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you have, well, this
It was
is,
abandoned for almost 100 years.
if you have 4
When
soldiers
Florida became a
that are
US
sleeping on
territory
this
in 1821,
little
the
bed
US Army
frame
took
here,
over all the old Spanish military
2
stuff,
soldiers
and
are
they
all,
decided
are
this
keeping
wasn't
watch
really
overnight,
last
just in
to
case of an
anymore,
attack.
So they didn't.
Yeah.
There's
Tight
photos
quarters.
here just of the fort.
This
and
is
just
much better compared to anything like that.
fort
Yeah.
after 1939 repairs.
Water in that thing.
Old days removable ladder was here.
Yeah, they shot it.
Magazine in this wall, that's where we were.
I think I'd much rather do
West
that.
studio once covered the wall. Our parapet wall. 2-story watchtower. Cannon on the deck. Defended the inlet river, the Matanzas River.
What time are we ready to leave in
Cisterns.
a few minutes?
Well, we got another 5 minutes or
5
so.
minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I'm gonna rapidly go through this book. Northeast side of the fort, late 1800s, 1880s I meant. Abandoned cannon on gun deck. That's the west side of the
We
fort.
got about 5 more minutes before we need to be back on the boat. If anybody's on the roof, please start working your way down. We got about 5 minutes.
Deck in the south wall. This was the observation deck. Southeast corner was broken off. 1915. Corner demolished for repairs. 1915. 1915, 1916. South side. Early visitors 1920. 26 through 28. 1926. 1928. Fort entrance 1930s. 1933, the photo. Major renovations, 1938 to 1939. Removing the arc ceiling. Arc reconstruction, 1938. Fort Island in 1940. 47, Fort Matanzas Island, that was the fort. 1970s. West Water Sister Interior, 1978. Original cannons returned to Matanzas, 1991. And that is where we stand today, here at Fort Matanzas. Saying goodbye to Fort Matanzas. Turn this boat around.
So when they come here in the morning, we gotta take this out though too. We're gonna reappoint my mother as our parents. The only issue is we gotta take that out. So they can't die.
Very good history lesson. Walking around the fort. Seeing what houses lived. The ones that were to watch over the fort. Had to live in what their accommodations were. And all the supplies that they had to use and ammo with the cannons. And the 90-degree small hole in the roof that we could climb a ladder.